Hi, everyone, and welcome to Take a Pause with Menopause, where we will talk about the pause in all of her glory and not so glory. But the conversation will always be true, fun, and honest. I mean, you got to be honest with what's
Mhm.
happening with us girls, right? Like,
Yeah.
you got to prepare the others. So today, I'm so happy to be with my co host, Raquel, my partner in menopause. Hello, Raquel.
Hello.
And we have today with us Isha, who is a stylist concierge, as I like to bring a little flair with the French in there. And we're going to hear about her journey with menopause and her journey to how she helps women regain their confidence with styling. I mean, I know I can style myself in the 80s, but this is 2026.
I feel
So,
like I'm still wearing the '80s styles
so I
sometimes, not
love
gonna
it. I
lie.
don't know why
Well,
I
it is
still have a
coming
leather
back. I
jacket.
mean, it is coming back,
I
so
knew it. I knew it.
hang
I
on to those
recycled some
things you still
clothes.
have.
Yeah. I don't
Yes.
know if I'll look the same, but we're going to get there. We're going to talk about it as we go. So, welcome Isha.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, and, I kinda hate that we're talking about menopause, but I'm trying to change my attitude and be
Okay.
like, how blessed are we that we get to have a voice in this, and that we're
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
changing things for the younger generation where they're
Mhm.
not going to have to suffer the way we have, and then we think we're suffering. Imagine 10 years ago, 5
Oh
years ago,
yeah.
even,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
women have gone through 20 years ago,
Mhm.
and so
Mhm.
I'm changing my attitude, like, "Yay, I get to go through this. What an
Yes, I
honor."
get to. That's the that's the
I
new word. That's the phrase.
Yay, yay.
It's funny you mentioned that too because I look back at my mom and I was telling her yesterday she's like a huge catalyst to like why I decided to go into menopause and get down this journey. Not only I struggled, but she really had a rough go. Like she's 68 and she's basically like just stuck to a recliner because of her central nervous tremors and all the other like laundry list of things that happened to
Yeah.
her because of lack of whatever of
Mhm.
was for her. So I appreciate you even bringing that up, Isha. Thank you.
You know what? My mom passed away 2 weeks after her 45th birthday
Mm,
from cancer, so she never got to experience any of this, and there's really no women in my family, so I do feel like I have been, like,
alone.
abandoned on an island all by
Oh,
myself trying to figure it out, and I've really actually had a really hard time with it, and I continue to have a hard time with it, and I just keep thinking, "I'm gonna wake up one day and be like, 'I made it, I'm on the other side.'" I'm waiting for that.
well,
Okay.
welcome. You're in the
Yeah,
you're
welcome.
in the right room.
Come on in. The water's warm is
The
what I
water's
say. The
just
water's
fine.
warm. Come on
I
in.
don't know that I can handle the hot right now.
The water's cool. The cool.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so I am, a style concierge, and I have been a wardrobe consultant, for 30 years. It started years ago. I opened up a store just because I was a diehard shopper. Remember Confessions of a Shopaholic? That was
Oh,
totally
yes.
me, like, credit cards out of control.
Yes.
Loved shopping, loved doing all the things, and I thought, "Oh, I'm gonna open a store," and, turned it into a career, and it took all the fun out of shopping. I can tell you that. That's not
Oh,
even I can't
yeah.
even remember the last time I've been in a mall, and that used to be my favorite thing to just go walk around and look and try things on, and now I'm like, it's a whole different world. But I owned stores, and my whole evolution really changed, which really brought me to today. I hate retail, actually. I'm not a
Oh, interesting.
salesperson, so I don't like trying to sell somebody an outfit that is not I'm actually I talk people out of things more than I talk them into them because
Don't tell
because
Macy's.
because I have a story about no, 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 uh-huh. But I really like it's a feeling. So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
talk about personal style, I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care how much you paid for it. I don't care what brand it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it's
Thank
fun
you.
and it gets exciting, but I don't care. I think the greatest thing that ever happened with fashion is when Target started teaming up with the high-end designers and they came out with some collections, and that was the first time that we were given permission to mix highs and lows and not
Yeah.
have to spend a lot of money, and it
Mm,
really, really changed the dynamic of style.
Mhm.
So, I owned my store. Again, it wasn't my favorite thing to do, but all these women would come in and they really wanted help, and so I really
Yeah.
loved working with people one-on-one, and really seeing, like watching a woman put something on and being like, "Oh my god, I didn't think I could wear this," right? You know that feeling where you're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh," versus a woman putting something on and coming out and going, well, what do you think? I'm like, well, I hate it.
Ah.
Like, I love it, but it doesn't matter because you don't, because you didn't
Right.
come out with that,
Correct.
this is
Yeah.
it. And so it was really fun teaching women on how to feel excited about the way
Mhm.
they looked again
Yes.
and why things worked, and actually teaching them why you felt so good putting this on. It's the shape of something, it's the shape of your body. Here's why. You love that it hit you higher at your waist because you're so much smaller there that it
Mhm.
gave forgiveness for everything else that was going on, but really teaching people how to do that. And then in my I like to just like, let's entertain. Like, my mom was a singer. My dad played
Oh,
with Ike and
nice.
Tina Turner. Like, I mean, I grew up with music.
Cool.
That's
Nobody knew this.
a
Oh,
whole other podcast. Trust
that
me.
could be
My
a whole
gosh.
other oh my
My
Did you see
god.
a mayor pop up?
gosh.
What?
It's my dad, he sometimes will call me and he'll be like, "Did I ever tell you about the time that I was a roadie for the Rolling Stones?" I was like, "No."
I love him.
We'll tell you one quick story. And he goes, "Did your mom?" Because my mom did pass away. So he goes, "Did she ever?" This should not offend anybody when I say it like this, but did she ever tell you about the guy that was so hopped up on her, like so wanted to be with her when I met her, but she was kind of afraid of him? So think this is in the 60s, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is when the Black Panthers were just coming out and like things were changing, right? And I'm like, Dad, who? And he goes, she was kind of like, he wouldn't leave her. Jimi Hendrix.
Oh
I'm
my
like, are you
god.
kidding me? Jimmy could have been my daddy. What are we talking about
Yeah,
here?
Dad, move over.
Isn't that so funny? And I'm like, no, this was just in the last couple of years. I'm like, no, these are things that I did not know about.
Amazing. Purple Haze, here
I've
we
been
go. I
interviewing
love
him.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
Yeah. They have a whole book for like people that are aging. They can like talk and like write a book. You should totally look into that service.
oh,
I think it's like
oh,
99
trust
bucks or
me.
something. And then you can have him write a book because that is a story.
Yeah.
I've been interviewing my dad. We'll just get together and I'll set up a camera and do all that. So super
I
fun.
love
So
it.
I
Yeah.
have that entertainment bug in me. So I would go to market to shop. And I'd be talking to designers like, hey, you want to come to Reno and do a trunk show? You want to, like, people didn't even know what they were then.
I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
when you rolled those out here and
Oh,
people were
and I
like,
would
what
bring
is
in brand new
this?
designers, and there are
Yes.
people that still have things from back then, but I even got like, I had Betsy Johnson come to town. I had
Yes.
Max
Ah,
Azria come to town. I mean, it was just crazy the things that I would do, and I'm like, "Oh, it was so fun," and I worked with all the nightclubs in town, so they were like, "Heck yeah, you can do something here,"
uh-huh.
and, gosh, I just loved it. I had so much fun. So one of the things that I did Reno's Next Top Model. So when America's Next Top Model came out, I did
Neat.
Reno's Next Top Model. It was for a ladies' night, one of the nightclubs in town, and it was cool. Like it was things that people do now, but they didn't do then, right? Where I'd have a photographer there doing a live photo shoot, and you'd see it up on the screens and this and that. Well, at the time, they had gone over. What was it? Not Fox, it was whatever the news station whatever the station was, they came in and they're like, that's copyright. You can't call it that." And I was like, "Oh God." I had no idea, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right, right.
I don't know.
You
I
don't know
don't
what you don't know.
well, and then they wound up hiring me to work on 2 seasons of the show for America's Next Top Model, and they used to fly all the models into Reno, so I would do a whole thing in with
Okay.
them in
Friend.
Reno. So it's like I've had and then I wound up hosting TV shows for Fox and NBC, and now I'm still on the news I do things all the time. So it's funny how this journey has just kind of taken me through because listen, I'm real. I'm for the real woman. It's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
I don't care what you're wearing, but how much fun are you having in what you're wearing? If you're not
Right.
having fun with how you're getting dressed, if you stand in your closet, you're just like, oh God, like this, like getting dressed shouldn't be a burden. It's something you
Right?
have to do every day. It should be something that makes you feel amazing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So just like we
Although
have
I
to
loathe it. I'm like, ah.
but even though we have to accept we're in menopause, we have to accept that we
Yeah.
still have to there still is that girl inside of us. It just takes a little
Mhm.
bit more work right now
Yeah.
as we're figuring it out. So over the years, I mean, things have just changed and I've added on. And so now, I really call myself a style concierge because, style, we all know that word. And concierge is like, hey, I'm here really for all the needs. So I public speak, I do trainings for groups, I help companies up level what their staff looks like to help them there. But I launched, it's called the Confident Style Method.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
it
yes, I've
is
been
an
seeing your post on this.
amazing program. It just launched, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. I have my VIPs, which actually I was just on a call with them last night, and we're kind of revamping some things because I'm learning too what this looks like. But it's
Sure.
everything that I've ever done with women one-on-one in their closets and teach you at your own pace. So instead of the like if I said right now, Raquel, I'm coming over to go through your closet, how would
I'd
that
have a
make
panic attack.
would you wouldn't open
Yes.
your door, right?
Yeah, that's like I just sounded like as you were saying it, I actively felt my tightening in my chest, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, somebody's gonna come over and look at my closet. It's a hot mess.
Yeah. And so this was really a way where I could still personal style people and help them in their own closet and teach everything, but you could go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Yet we have monthly coaching calls. So last night was one of those. So then it's great. So these women come on and they get to ask questions and they can show me in their closet and they can ask how things work. So it's really been fun of turning everything that I do into just this thing that really just helps women. And what I'm learning right now is because I menopause has been really rough, and that's, our next
Yeah.
story. I last night I admitted to them, I was like, you know what? I can't stand my body right now. I'm turning 55 this year, so I'm going into like things have changed legitimately that
Yeah.
even if I magically lost the 30 pounds that I put on, I still can't wear the same things that I used to. So it's like a
Mhm.
double whammy for some of
Mhm.
us
Yeah.
with age and everything. And instead of standing in my closet crying, I'm like, you know what? I need to get this. Can I cuss?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I need to get this shit out of here because it's making me feel bad every time
Right.
I open the door.
Yeah.
And I would rather open up the door of my closet and see 5 things that I
Yep.
love than 105 things that
Yeah.
I cannot wear right now.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That is so
So it
validating.
is,
It
yeah.
really is.
And so really personal style isn't even about style. It's not about fashion, not with what I do. Personal style is like, how do you want to feel today?
Yeah.
How do you want people to see you? What kind of energy do you want to put off? We know when you look good, girl, when you
Mhm.
got it going on, you're
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
Yes,
right?
it's like a little wiggle in the hips when you walk in.
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah,
want to have
yeah.
that attitude. I
Yeah,
Yes.
want
yeah.
to feel that all
Exactly.
the
But
time.
there's
And I
also things
want
like
women.
boyfriend jeans or weekend jeans, where you're in that mode and you're like, eh. Or the ripped t-shirt that you just want to wear because you've worn it for 20 years. Yeah.
But you can feel pretty hot in that too sometimes.
You
Yeah.
can, I know.
You can. So there are things that you can do because if those are the things that you're reaching for, how do we take that into a style context and create a wardrobe for you that still has that feeling,
Mhm.
that is that comfy? One of the good things, there's a few things that happened good through COVID, and one of which was clothing became a lot more comfortable. Because women, we have been like, we're not wearing nylons, we're not wearing
Yep.
uncomfortable fabrics, we're not going to wear heels that hurt our feet all the time. The
Who the
things that
hell came up with
oh,
nylons?
Yeah.
oh,
A man.
mm,
That's what I
mm.
say.
I'm just gonna beat them down.
Now,
No woman would have made them like
before
that.
before I was in fashion, I actually worked in health insurance and I worked for a brokerage and I was like it was like a good old boys club and
Mm.
I was like the little token young 23-year-old that would be in the cute little suit and the red lips and the whole thing. And they used to make us wear nylons and I fought the company. I was like, I'm done. I'm not wearing them unless you'll pay for them. If you want to pay for them and give me it about so I fought the whole company and it wound up changing
I love
everything for
it.
the whole
Good for
I
country.
love it.
you.
I
That's
love
I'm
it.
like, I'm
awesome.
not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No, no. I
Yeah.
I worked at the bank at 20 and it was same. They wanted you to wear the bank or the nylons, same. It was the good old boy club, but I, I just was like I'm not doing that. Like I would wear pants or I'd wear really long skirts so I could not show the
Yeah.
I'm not wearing nylons, but I wasn't wearing those things. I hated them.
Brutal, brutal.
They are.
Mhm.
And
I
just
know.
the thought of them right now makes me wanna burst into
Heck,
flames.
yeah.
See? You got the
I
tightening in your chest.
I actually my husband and I, we were at, a wedding. So we're in a church and I wore the nylons because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't look right without," because 'cause you're trained that way. You're like, "Oh, you don't have to bear like." Long story short, I said, "I will be right back." He said, "You're gonna go take the nylons off?" I said, "You know it." I went to the ladies' room, peeled them off, threw them in as I'm, like, making eye contact with another woman, and she's
Mm,
like, "Good
mhm.
job,"
Go
and
girl.
just threw them in. I was like, I would have burned them if it wouldn't have burned the church down, but I was like, "Oh my god," like, you're so uncomfortable in them,
Yes.
and it's for what reason? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
It's just
sure.
crazy.
Aesthetics. Like
And so there's so
aesthetics.
many things that you can do. And here's the thing is I have all the tips and tricks and all the little secrets on how you can still feel confident and covered and still get the effect like you
Yeah.
had something, your skin nice and beautiful and perfect and
Yeah.
not have to deal with those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
Exactly.
we have a lot of great resources that we didn't have before.
Yeah.
True. That's
Yeah.
very true.
Absolutely.
So menopause
I was
has
gonna
Yes.
say, so
been,
talk about your journey a little bit if you want.
And
it's
yes, you
really
can continue to curse. This is
okay.
a safe.
And I'm
This is a
like,
It's
safe
a safe
place,
I
Isha.
might
place.
A
even
safe.
cry. I don't even know.
And that's okay
I
too. You're in good
You
company.
know, it's funny because, well, I lived in San Diego, moved back to Reno, Nevada 3 years ago. And when I was down there, I was in a bathing suit or workout clothes or, it's very casual there. And that was hard. Like, I didn't love that because it was hard to get dressed. And, I didn't realize I was already starting to have hot flashes and things like that. And then
Oh.
when you're in the humidity like that near the
Oh
water,
God.
it's just confusing to your
Yeah.
body altogether.
Especially when you don't know. It's the
Yeah.
not knowing that really kicked my butt.
Well, and I came back here, and one of the first things that I did when I got back with my doctor here is I wanted my IUD removed. I had had it in for 20 years. I never had a period through those 20 years. My son, I really think was a miracle child, like meant to be mine, because it took me a long time to get pregnant with him. And I had these crazy cycles. I was never somebody
Mm.
like I would have 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 weeks. Like I
Oh
just
yeah.
never had a normal. And so I had him when I was 26, so from that point on, I had an IUD. So even when and I still think of this, my doctor was like, "Are you sure you don't wanna keep it in? Because this one, they say it's 5 years, but you can keep it in 8 years." I'm like, "Get it out. I wanna see where I'm at. I wanna feel it all."
Oh yes.
Are you regretting
Well,
that choice?
Oh my god, in hindsight, I could have still had that baby in here, and it was almost like, it came out and it was like, "All right, girl, let's go."
Yep.
And I was like, "Wait, I wasn't ready for that at
Yeah.
all." And, boy, I'll tell you, I'm a very upbeat, positive person. I don't like arguing. I don't, it takes a lot to get me angry. I see the good in things, and I was just raging,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
raging.
Yeah.
Like, I just got engaged, and I'm surprised he stuck around through all of this because I really like when I think back on just and not even just raging externally, what it felt like internally to
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
just be
blood boiling. Like you
all the
can't.
time.
Yeah. It's like a
Like,
vibration inside that you're like anger filled for
yeah,
whatever
like you want to
reason.
punch a wall or something. I've never felt like
And
that in my
it's
entire
yeah,
life.
and it's maybe
Mhm.
because somebody like, pulled out in front of you in the highway. You know what I mean? It is like you're going along singing a song and then you're like, "Oh my god." And it's like, "Oh, let's just deep breathe in out." It's like,
Yeah.
"What happened?"
Well, and just to be completely unreasonable with yourself,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
that too.
Yes.
oh my god. Where I always say there's a couple of me in here and we
Yeah.
argue with each other sometimes. But there's always been
Same.
several of us in here, but now there's the good one and the bad one. But, we're learning to live together a little bit better than we have in the
Nice.
past.
Well, this is good.
So over the time and my fiancé now, but I called him my guy before because 'cause I'm too old to have a boyfriend, right? So
Yeah.
he would call me his lady and I'd call him my guy. And, he was still in San Diego, so we bought a house here, so for about a year or so, we were long distance, which always kinda worked for us. We always kinda did
Mhm.
that, like, he'd
Mhm.
go home to the East Coast, and when we first started, we were long distance, and it was great when we were together and everything. Well, then he moved here full time in the middle of me going through this, and he wound up leaving his company, and it was a hard time to find work again, so he didn't
Mm.
work for a while, so now here I am going, through the thick
Uh-huh.
pause, and here he is going through, midlife, like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, what do we do?" kind of thing, and it really, really was difficult when I think back on the last couple of years. Um, we get through that, but then I start thinking about just how I feel so like, I almost feel like in the last even 24 hours, I've had aha moments of, like, I've been so disconnected from myself.
Mhm.
So, like, just like, what is happening? Like, what fog have I been in
Yeah.
where I'm hopeful that this little transition that I'm feeling right now is kind of like, okay, it's gonna start evening out, and I'm starting
Yeah.
to accept, and I'm finding that's a big part of it is that you go through all this and you can be mad and you could be angry. I mean, I do have a whole conversation planned for God and I when I get to heaven that I think this was super rude of how he figured this out, and yes, and I mean it. But I'm also like, okay, it is what it is. So how do I
Yeah.
make the best of it? And what can I change to help myself through some of this? I've had hopefully my doctor never listens to this, but I have a doctor who is younger than me. She's not in menopause. She has young
Mhm.
kids.
Mhm.
She was very honest with me from the beginning that she had no idea really
Yeah.
about hormones. That's something
Oh.
that they weren't taught. So this the
Mhm.
last like honestly, the last 2 years, it's mind blowing what has come
Right.
out about menopause,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So
Because I
she
heard
was
nothing like this when I was growing up.
yep,
Nothing.
and she was like, "No, like, I don't wanna put you on hormones, your mom died of cancer," so it was still that mentality, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Like,
Mhm.
they treat me like that is my
Yep.
future. They treat me like that my future is that I'm gonna get
Yeah.
cancer,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
And that
I
sits
was
well
just
with
like
you, doesn't it? Like,
but
thanks.
I mean, the hot flashes, the like, I couldn't function, right? I
Mhm.
Yeah.
just couldn't function.
Mhm.
So, finally, I convinced her to put me on hormones, and, my friend Doctor Chat, GPT,
Uh-huh.
and I turned him into my menopause coach, and I would share my blood work and my things, and everything would show up fairly normal on my
Right.
blood stuff. Yet things were off enough where it's like, "Yeah, you're not on enough estrogen, and maybe you should try this and do that." So I go to my doctor and I'm like, "Here's what I think we need to do."
Yeah.
I think we need to do things. She doubled everything.
Okay.
You guys, I overdosed on hormones.
Yeah. I
Say
was
I've
gonna
done
Like,
yeah.
that.
it makes me physically sick when I think of what I felt like. So for 2 months, I suffered in a way that I was just like, "Okay, I just have to get over that hump." They're telling me, like, "Stick with it." I
Mhm.
was bleeding a lot. I
Yep.
had already bled before, so I've already had biopsies, I've already had ultrasounds. You know, the techs are saying things to me like, "Oh, you have so many cysts in there, we can't even see anything." You know, now I'm like, "Well, that's something I didn't know before," and
Yeah.
should I be worried? Should I not
Mhm.
be worried? Do
Yeah.
I need to look into this, you know? Like,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
list is
Yeah.
now growing of things I need to worry about. I, oh, I should even just pull up this video right now. I woke up one day and I was starting to have like some skin problems. I woke up one day, I had full acne, like acne
100%.
all over my face. I broke the skin barrier from all the hormones that were going on, and I just got off 6 weeks of antibiotics.
Oh
Oh
my
It
my
is
god.
something that once it happens, I was at the dermatologist yesterday, once it happens, you deal with it for the rest of your life. So chances are I'll be on antibiotics again. I have to anything I can't even do the things I love the whole routine of being a girl and putting on all the creams and doing all the things. And guess what? The stuff that I have to use now is the most basic, boring. I'm lucky I can even wear makeup. It was so devastating during the holidays to look like that. And I was still on TV. I was still running events. And I remember thinking, like, even though I feel terrible, thank God I do have confidence in myself. Like I've worked on all
yeah.
the things that I try to
Right.
work with
Yep.
women that I could just be like, this doesn't matter. This too shall pass. This will pass.
Which is really hard to tell yourself in the moment because when you feel like hell and you're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I empathize with you because I went through something pretty similar. I didn't get the rash. I just ended up with like severe panic attacks. I had
Mm,
gone too far on the estrogen. And I mean, there was a good like 6 month period where it was like off and on. And I would have just weeks of like laying in bed with depression where I was like suicidal, like
oh,
ideologies, like just my hair would be matted to my head. I couldn't shower. I just was just paralyzed by anxiety. And so I completely empathize. I know. And it's so frigging rough to like pull yourself back up by the bootstraps and
Yeah.
say, you got this girl when your hair's like, it takes you 2 hours to brush it back out. And before that, I had lost all my hair, right? Like going into perimenopause, like I didn't know that was what was happening to me. So the lack of estrogen increased my inflammation, which turned into an autoimmune disease, sent me into acute liver failure. And like I lost 90 pounds or 80 pounds, excuse me, in just like 3-month period, my muscles atrophied. I was in bed for 9 months. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I empathize. So good for you for pulling yourself
Yeah.
You know,
out.
it's interesting you say that. So by the time I had my IUD taken out and they did my blood work, they're like, "You're already in menopause. Like, you already show
Mhm.
that you're in menopause." So I've been in menopause, like, longer than I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
been years. I gained 30 pounds through
Mhm.
menopause.
Mhm.
I've always been a curvy girl,
Mhm.
and, it's okay. I've been able, like, I always made a joke out of it. Like, I would go live all the time. I was the girl that went live on Facebook before any of that even happened. Like, when COVID happened, I had no listen, that was a great year for my business because I was like, I'm on every day. What up?
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
do
do
this.
something today. And I mean, I would just do it. And then now I can't just put something on. I wouldn't even try things on. I would get on and
Yeah.
off the camera and I would laugh. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna show you a part of this because I can't get it on. Now that would probably send me into tears. I can't handle it. I can't,
Yeah.
I don't have that much that kind of confidence anymore. So I really have lost my identity. And now I'm looking for her again, and kind of bringing it back.
But the phoenix always rises from the
It
ashes.
does. It does. And it's your story, yes, and it is horrible. The thing that I take from it also is the fact of we're all trying to figure it out ourselves. Yet the same provider, it could be the providers could be like, they're like, we weren't trained this. That's not an excuse anymore. I don't want to hear how you didn't teach
Right.
that in medical school. Okay, you didn't. Get over it. I wasn't taught it in nursing school. I wasn't taught it in just how to be a woman. And we've learned. Like, we've all opened up books. Yes, you went to the Chad, as we call Chat GPT. We call Chad. But it's like, we all have to do it. And w- like, we're qualified in being a woman, but I'm not qualified into making decisions that, like, it took me a struggle to try to get testosterone, and I still don't have it from a provider that I am
They
here.
won't give it to me.
I have to go online. It's sort of like doing a dirty drug deal, I feel like sometimes,
Still slide you
like,
the hormones.
just slide me the horn. And I'm like, I was born with that, like,
Mhm.
naturally. Like,
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, we don't give that anymore. Well, who are you? Like, if I had diabetes, you would give me insulin. Why can't you give this? So it's like the fight that you have to go, and then you just become exhausted. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
then you're like, okay, I've just done everything. I've tried to talk for myself and speak up for myself, and now I'm on too much. And now it's recovering from, it's like finding that balance is, so I commend you. You look absolutely beautiful and
Fabulous.
amazing and
Yes.
fabulous
I
Yes.
washed
for
my hair
55. You,
recently.
I
you
washed
go,
my hair
girl.
for this too
You
yesterday.
go,
I was like, oh,
girl.
I gotta wash my hair.
Yeah.
You
But it's
know,
like, it's tough to get there. So the fact that you're
Yeah.
here and you look like,
And
it will
even at
change.
your
And that's
live
what,
seminars, which I've been to recently, like you are very open about it and you like have a very real conversation about it. And you say, like, I'm so sorry I'm having a hot flash right now. And I
yeah.
I remember I was like, here's some water because I have been in your shoes and I understand like so much. But I think you just hold a strong presence and you still own that stage. So just
Yeah.
own who you are,
and I
girl.
love it. And the thing is for me, much like you said, Raquel, when you were just like I'm at home so much that
Mhm.
right now I can tell I need to make more of an effort to be out. I need to go be around other women and not just out drinking wine. I need to go to events. I need to do because
Yeah.
it gives me hot flashes too, and is not helping my
Yes.
30 pounds.
I had to stop
So,
drinking, period.
So did I. It's
Yeah.
annoying, Isha. It is
Oh.
annoying. I now drink something that's like wine, but with the alcohol removed. So it's like grape juice. It's grape juice.
I just
I
make a
went to
bunch of
the,
mocktails.
yeah, but it's like not, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have a glass of wine to get drunk. It was a glass of wine. You come
oh, I
home
know.
from dinner. Well, there were occasions, but
I was like, huh,
you
really?
come home from work and you're like, oh, it just relaxes you. You know what I mean? It was just a thing. And then
Mhm.
you realize, oh, that thing is now keeping you up at 3 a.m., not
Right.
being able to sleep. And the sugars and everything that are in there are now helping
Right.
your weight gain and your,
Mhm.
abdomen look very round. And it's like, okay, so now you stop doing that. And it's
Yep.
like,
Like, I'm 50, I'm
You
not
can
4
get
months
into
pregnant.
yeah, you could get into a place where you're angry about it all,
Yeah.
so at the same time while my face is doing this, and I'm my little patch, do you wear an estrogen
I
patch?
yeah,
do, yeah.
Mine was this big.
Yeah, I had one that was that big
It
too.
My
was like
God,
a
why?
pad. When I opened it up, I was like, "What?" When they doubled my dosage, and I was like, I own Jazzercise, so I teach Jazzer and I put on I'm like, "You literally can see the shape of it." I had to show them in class because you can see it through my workout pants
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
pay pants. And, I did 4 months of trizepatide shots. Now listen to
Yeah.
this. At the same time my face is starting to break out, every time I do an injection, I'm like, "Ah, that's so red. That's so" my body was literally overdosing on everything
Yeah.
and screaming. I never lost a single pound. I suffered and then I felt like a failure in this
Mhm.
my life like,
Mhm.
the whole thing where now I'm having to be very strategic about what am I doing? What things am I
Yep.
doing that make me feel good this week? How am I getting out there with other women so that I don't feel alone in this? And when we're leaders, we have to be careful that we go be a part of things where we're not leading, where we're letting some of it come to us
Yes.
because I wind up being the one like, "Let's do this. Oh, we're doing this." And then that's not filling my c it is filling my cup, but
But
not
it's in
not
the
Yeah.
way that you need. Yeah, and
not
that's
always.
okay to say, Isha. It really is.
My breaking point, I was in San Diego, and this is when I fully, like, was overdosing on, just freaking out. My face had completely blown up. I had just
Mm.
started antibiotics, and my knee got all busted up, and so I
Oh,
hired
yeah.
this guy that I've worked with before in San Diego, spent a $3,400 for this guy to work with me,
What the heck?
but he's healed me before without surgery and without doing things, so it was a great investment for me. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
I will make the investment in my body. I go into the bathroom and it's so humid there, and I put this one on my back, and I go potty, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Did it just fall in the freaking toilet?"
Oh my
Went into
god.
the toilet.
Oh my god.
And I have none with me. I have no more with me. So I panic. The insurance companies won't approve for me to get anything there, right?
Oh
So I'm
my
finally
god.
like
Oh,
trying to get through this time,
no.
and then now I have nothing for a week.
Yeah.
I have nothing for a week. And I'm spending all my time while I'm down there on the phone trying to figure this
Yep.
out, trying to get someone to help
Yep.
me. And I'm like, this
Yes.
is ridiculous. So then I came home and cut everything in half. I started breaking everything in half. I went
Yeah.
and saw a menopause specialist, and God love them. I appreciate. So when I say this, I'm not saying anything bad about anything, but frankly, it pisses me off that I now
Mm.
have to pay $300-400 a
Yeah.
month for someone to coach me through something that is a
Yes.
natural thing that a woman goes through.
Thank you.
You know what?
Thank
They
you.
did help me, and I just couldn't sign up with them because it pissed me off too much
Mhm,
to
mhm.
have to deal. I'm like, "This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
the
bullshit."
lengths
This
that we have to go through.
just to feel okay.
Normal, or, like, somewhat normal, not even, like, you don't even know what your baseline normal is anymore,
Yeah,
but you just, like, wanna feel kinda like you're there. Yeah,
yep,
Because
yeah,
yeah, because it starts so subtly and you don't realize.
yeah.
For me, it was like in the late 40s that I can
Mm,
track, but I never know, right? So I'm like in late 46 and I start having palpitations
mm.
and GI problems. So then they were like, "Oh, well, if you go gluten free and you feel better, just stay gluten free." And I'm like, "Okay, now I'm part Greek. I eat bread with bread. I
oh,
eat bread
yes.
on top of bread." Like, and they were like, "Well, you can't have it anymore." I was like, "Okay, I can't have it anymore." So you get rid of all of that and still nobody go for numerous like Holter monitors, blah blah. And a story I finally go in my 50s, I'm reading my summary when I come out of the doctor's. I'm now like 56 because I'm 58 now. And it says, met with postmenopausal woman. And I was like, wait, what? What the hell? That poor cashier. I was like, it says what? Hold on. I was
Who's the
so,
menopausal woman?
I was like, nobody. I'm like, what happened to Perry? Menno?
Mhm.
And then you find out, like going through my research, because the providers were younger, they don't want to ask the awkward questions like, are you having painful sex? No, they're not going to ask you that. They ask, is there anything you want to talk about? Well, not really, because
Like, what the hell do I wanna
I
talk
don't know
about? I'm
what's
freaking out
happening,
at
but
home, my hair's falling
I
out,
don't
I just
feel
feel like
myself.
crap.
Yeah. I'm like, you would say, like, I don't feel myself. I'm,
Yeah,
gaining weight. Oh,
yeah.
stress.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm getting nervous going to work. Oh, it's just anxiety. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you leave, and I was like, I'm a stress-filled and anxious person now, all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and
I'm gonna be
no
like this for
other
the rest of my
answers.
life. Yeah.
And yeah, and you
Mhm,
don't
mhm.
know what happened. I'm normally calm and like, yeah, whatever. And now you're like, "Mm," and nobody tells you. And you
Yeah.
do see all those other companies that you can pay more. And it's like, if there was just some way to learn.
Yeah.
what was happening from the start of it instead of trying to play catch up. Because now I'm trying to get the hormones that I've been battling, that I've been losing for the last 10 years.
Yep.
Now it's like a battle. Now I'm like in that race, you know,
Yeah.
that dream that you
And
have.
blood work all the time. And
Yes.
anytime you feel off, you're like, oh God, am I spinning backwards? Like,
Yes. Am I going backward?
Yes.
That's why we
And you're like,
created menopause, so that we could train the leadership and HR specialists to help women in that environment at work, and then we offer vetted resources that doesn't come out of their pocket. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, this is vetted resources that we know is not just TikTok information or Google searches. Like, we know this is real information because it's exactly to your point. Like, who the hell wants to pay $300-$400 to somebody
yeah,
just to say, like, buck it up, buttercup?
seriously. You know what's interesting as you were saying that, I was thinking about when I had my IUD taken out, and she was like,
yeah,
yeah, you're in menopause. And she says, well, you're in atrophy. And I'm like,
yeah, there you go. I hate that word. I
what?
absolutely hate that word.
I'm like, wait, what do you mean?
It's like geriatric pregnancy. Knock that word off.
And she's like, your vagina is in atrophy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the hell are you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Yes.
she goes, your women in menopause, your pretty pink pillows aren't pretty pink pillows anymore. They go into atrophy. And I'm like, who the fuck?
Fuck says
Like,
that.
what guy thought, oh, let's use that word? I'm like, come on. Like, the whole thing needs to be rewritten. It is
Yes.
difficult.
Yes. So it doesn't feel so shameful, damn it.
Right. Atrophy. I agree. I hate
That
that
would
word.
mess me up. Like,
I mean,
let's
yes.
get necklaces that say I'm an atrophy. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what.
Just say like, just have, oh, so it's like a desert down there. Thank you so much. I
You
now
know
have
what?
a cactus growing
As
instead
if
of a
I
nice
didn't
little.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
to do. The sun is following me. I don't even know what's happening. I'm glowing. I don't know. My
So you look
doctor, I
beautiful.
have to share this with you guys real quick, and then I really have to share like what do we do as far as our style? But
Yes.
when I was 17, my first gynecologist, his name was Dr. Honeycutt. Have you ever heard of him here?
Yeah, he delivered me.
Oh my God. He was the dirtiest old man. He was such a pervert. He had,
Maybe
I
that's why
think
my mom liked
he
him.
loved wands. He married like 5 of his patients, right?
I
And it was
can't
something,
even.
he would come in and he would get so close to me. And I'm like, you better not kiss me. Like,
That was here, right?
goddamn, huh?
That was here, right?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, in Reno. Okay.
He passed away, I don't know, probably
That is
8,
hysterical.
10
He
years ago.
literally delivered me and my sister.
So oh my God, so he delivered my son and I loved him. And the nurses loved when I came in because they're like, he would get in trouble and he'd have to have a nurse in the room because he would say too much. And I would literally, like, I would dish it out. I would be in there like, don't you dare kiss me. And he would crack me up. And it would be my goal. Like, can I make him blush today? And I could. I could. I could. And I'll never forget, like, once I was going through all this, way back when I was single. Okay. I went through a divorce and he's down there. I'm like, okay, doc, like, how's it all looking? And he goes, you're perfectly healthy. And I'm like, no, like, how's it looking? I never thought anybody else was going to see this. Like, how's it look? And I remember him moving across the room and like I made him blush. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, let me just tell you about you. And he told me about me. And I was like, oh, wow. And he goes, well, enjoy it now. He goes, because you know what? All you women think you have too much going on. And he goes, as men get older, they start doing this. And as women get older, it all starts doing this. And he goes, someday you won't have to worry about this. And I had no idea what I was like, that is the weirdest thing anybody's ever said to me. Now,
But
it's true. That part I didn't mind too much. Attaching atrophy to it, I don't like that so much.
No, I'm not there for
You
that
okay,
word
Mark?
either.
First of all, I don't know what happens to your GYN people out there. Raquel told me the very first podcast I did with her, she told me how her GYN got arrested for prostitution.
Yes. Right. He did because
Reno? I
Oh,
mean,
yes,
it's Reno.
yes, it's Reno. So
That means I got Reno's. Yeah.
when my periods came back after I started healing a little bit, after I found out it was celiac disease that was the issue that had made me go into acute liver failure, my periods came back with vengeance. So I was like, I can't even leave the house. Like so I went into the GYN and they're like, okay, well, let's do an ablation. Still at 46, not a soul is saying, hey,
No,
girl, you might be in
no.
perimenopause,
Oh
right?
my
They'll
God.
use
No.
atrophy before they'll use menopause.
Yeah, yeah.
They throw
So I'm
atrophy
all
out there
lined
all
up to
along.
get this going, like meanwhile he's been down there. And then the news breaks and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm done. I'm done. Like y'all misdiagnosed me with like liver failure, told me I was alcoholic, told me I was just gonna die, of like writing goodbye letters to my children. And then I suffered for 9 months. And now you want to go and get arrested for prostitution. I think I'm good. I think
Yeah.
I'll just
I don't know
subject myself to death.
I love
Oh.
it. I just think something is, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
either way.
We know how to live around here.
We obviously, I just think, but I mean, they're horrific. And the
Yeah.
thing, like, is why we did start menopause to help women in the workplace, because we figured, how can we get, like, there's so many, like, the three of us, there's like 3 million and
Yeah.
so on and so forth that don't say anything, though. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? That they're suffering, they're not saying anything, and they're just listening to the doc say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, I don't need to get any hormones, okay, or whatever. And it's like, you realize we need to be a sisterhood of, like, we said one time that we were menopausal godmothers, fairy godmothers,
I love it. I love
because you do sort of have to, like, help the others, because if not, you're like left out on an island. And
Yeah.
that's your story,
Mhm.
Raquel's story. It's like
They're
it's
powerful.
traumatizing,
Yeah.
and the fact that you guys got through what you did, it is a detriment to, like, it's just such a great thing. And kudos to both of you, because it shows how strong women are, which
Yeah.
is why I always say we have the babies. Could
Yeah.
you imagine?
No.
That's all I'm going to
No.
say.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and the fastest way to reach women was going to work,
Yeah.
because we're either at home or
That's
we're
where
at
they all
work.
are.
So for
Well,
us,
and
it was like, let's help all the masses because everybody needs to know.
I love what you guys are doing because it is so important. And I think, so many people think they don't have resources if it's outside of work. So it really
Mhm.
is important for companies to utilize. Like I told you, I go in and help people. I'm like, you want your team to feel more powerful and successful? Guess
Yes.
what? It's in what they look like. A
Yeah.
And
hundred percent.
I think that's
They can have
amazing.
all the skills in the world, but if they don't feel confident what they're putting on, or they're not dressed for the part, they're not going to make that sale or that connection with
Correct.
somebody. It is
Right.
much more important than, and it's about having respect for yourself, right? What you
Mhm.
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
so it's so incredible what you guys are doing too, where I think, you know, the next layer is workplaces need to understand you need to support your people through it, and it's going to benefit your business, and you're going to be more successful
Yeah.
when your people understand hormones and what's happening. Even for men to learn a little bit, like, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually have min modules on our infrastructure.
yes, a
Yeah.
1000%. But even with style, we all have such this different thing. So here is
Yes.
really where I'm at is like, what can we control? All right.
Yes.
We can control, we may not be able to control exactly how we feel about the way we look, but we can make some changes in the resources that we have for ourselves and spending, it takes a little bit more time now, right? It's not like
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
watch your closet and go, oh, I can pull out any of these dresses and feel amazing. It's not that
Yeah.
anymore. It's like,
No.
how am I to, and sometimes I put something on, I'm like, what? I didn't even know I was this big or that I gained weight there. I did my measurements this morning because I'm doing this cool new thing actually through my health insurance. And I
Yeah.
was like, what? My
Yeah.
hips are bigger than any, like, big. Like, I'm like, this is odd. I've
But it
never.
doesn't show up. Like to
No.
see you in person, it doesn't translate.
I
Like I
do
know
know what
in
I'm
our
doing.
heads we I know right? In our heads we think that, but I'm telling you, like it doesn't translate. Like from my lens, I don't see that. Like I think that you look amazing and that you
Thank
you
you.
have a very like commanding presence, and it's like I think that's amazing, right?
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to say executive presence because I think that that's just a way to like poo poo women in the workplace, but like you
Thank
have a
you.
very present presence, and I
Mhm.
I
think
love
that's
that.
amazing.
I love that.
Mhm.
But I really think so again, we can't control everything going on with our hormones, right? And even if you do get somebody helping you and you're figuring out, it takes time. It's not just, oh, I'm going to put this patch on, I'm going to feel better overnight. That's not how it is, right?
No.
Time to figure it out. But you can control going into your closet and spending a day going through it and really determining what works for you and what doesn't, and removing things that make you feel bad. When I first started styling people, I don't like I love jeans on other people. I rarely wear jeans. I've
Mhm.
never liked them on my body. My skinny I take that back. At my very skinniest, which it was divorce and I had my gallbladder out and I was so skinny, it was probably the only time I liked wearing jeans, and they were like a size 27 and I had never been that small in my life. I was like, "Just leave the tags on. Leave them on so the world can see." And, but I
Write it
had
on the back, 27.
yeah, but I had a whole section in my closet because I hang everything, and I mean, it was like the whole bottom row, and it was all these jeans that were
Yeah.
expensive from my store, and this is when the bling jeans were in, and stores had gifted me jeans, and I had all these jeans, and I walked in one day, and I was like, "Oh, why do I have all this in here?"
Right.
And I tried them all on, so there's probably 35, 40 pairs of jeans. How many pairs do you think actually fit me?
1?
1 pair. I removed all of those. Do you know that was 34 pairs of jeans telling me you're fat, you can't fit into these, your body sucks.
Good point.
Subconsciously, every single time I walked in there, whether I knew it or not.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I removed them, it was like losing 10 pounds.
Yeah.
As soon as I removed them.
Yep.
Looking through and being like, "Why this shape used to look good on me. Why doesn't it look good anymore? What do I need to do? Like, my waist has changed. So how do I change how I'm wearing things to make myself feel good?" That's really why I created the confident style method is to walk people through the steps and the stages
Mhm.
of here's the steps to make you feel good. Here's the way to do it all and take time doing it and make it a
Mhm.
good thing, right? So
Yes.
I always say, like, wake up. So say you're going to go through your closet. Okay. First, get ready. Don't just do it rolling out of
Yep.
bed looking like shit with makeup on, last night's makeup, and your
Yep.
hair looking bad. Actually, get ready
Yep.
so that you like the way you look. And that doesn't mean you have to fully get ready, but at least make a little bit of effort, right? Have your
Yeah.
teeth brushed, all that, and make it a day. Put on nice music that you like to have. Open the windows. Maybe pour yourself a mimosa or what, or 4 or 5 or however many you need.
Whatever it
And
takes.
and just go through each piece and look at it, make it instead of it being like, "Oh god, I gotta clean out my
Mhm.
closet," make it
Mhm.
be like, "Okay, what's in there that I don't know? Like, what discovery? What are we
Yeah.
playing today?" And you'd be so surprised at how many things you'll find that you can wear in new ways. And also be like, I never even liked that before, so why am I keeping it in here?
Right.
I can't wear it
Right.
now. Like, why am I doing this to myself? It's really an interesting thing when you change the way you approach it and make
Mhm.
it more of an experience. It makes it more fun to get it out of there. But I honestly believe you should only have in your closet what you can wear right now.
Yeah.
Everything else should be out. Seasonal stuff, things you can't fit in. You can have a skinny box and a fat box in the garage with things, but you should only have in there what you can wear right now
You definitely don't wanna see my
because you
closet.
need to make that space. That is an intimate, your closet is an intimate, beautiful space. I mean, everything you do for your body is in
Yeah.
that space.
That's
So
true.
spending just a little bit of time, and when you take everything out and you clean it and you make it pretty, it's so easy to turn your own closet, make it look like a cute little boutique. I have all the tips and tricks for that. Then it becomes a place where you look forward to going to, just
Yes.
walking into your favorite store where you
It's a
walk in there
mindset. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
and you might be like, "Okay, I still don't know what I'm gonna wear today," but at least you open and it's not chaos.
Mhm.
It's not
Yep.
a bunch of things screaming at you that you're fat and you can't wear this anymore and you're old and those
Yep.
things. Instead, it's things where you have choices. You have choices that
Right?
you get to make.
Yeah.
That are
And
your choices, right?
so
And
Which
it's
is
so
huge too.
powerful.
and
Yeah.
I do think especially as we're into this time, it is a time. So women statistically completely change their wardrobes 8 to 10 times in their lives. And when you think
Really?
about this, so you're a baby, then you're a little girl, then you get into teenage, right? And then you're
Yeah.
college age,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
you become a young woman or a mom, right?
Mhm.
So now we have 5 there. Then you
Yep.
start getting into like, okay, now I'm in my career.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now my career's maybe changed a little bit. I started my own business. I don't need to wear the
Mhm.
same things I wore before. Now I'm in menopause.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like it is normal for this to happen. You're not the same person you were before. So, and that doesn't mean you have to buy all new things, but that's when you do look, what have I always worn? What are the shapes that I've always worn that I always like? And strategically figuring out how do I add more of that that makes me feel good? And enclosed cognition. Enclosed cognition, do you know what that is, Raquel?
No,
It's like
actually.
No.
It is okay. So there was a study done, I think it was at Stanford,
Uh-huh.
and they had like 300 people and they put them all in white coats, like white
Uh-huh.
lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
They told half of them you're doctors. They
I
told
have
half
heard
of them
about
were
this. Yes.
painters. I think
Yeah.
I think I said this at one of the things.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
half of them were painters and they gave them tasks. Which group do you think performed better at everything they did?
The doctors.
Doctors, because they were told they were something more powerful.
Yeah.
That jacket to them meant something different than to this group
Yep.
putting on. So if you're somebody who loves to put on a blazer and you put it on, all of a sudden it makes you sit up
Mhm.
taller, stand up taller.
Yeah.
Guess you should have more of those. You should find
Yeah.
some casual ones that you
Yeah.
can wear with a t-shirt. You should have more of that because it brings you power.
Mhm.
Same thing with exercise clothes. If you put on a cute outfit to go work out, you're going to have a better workout than if you just walk
Absolutely.
in with
Oh,
floppy,
yes.
baggy
Yeah.
t-shirt and pants. So it is really powerful and much deeper. And when people use the word style and fashion, they're like, "Oh, I'm not stylish. I'm not fashionable." That isn't what it's about. It's about understanding your personal, how you personally want to represent yourself to the world, to yourself when you look in the mirror. What
Mhm.
do you want to feel? Right? What kind of inspiration do you want from other people? So it really is deeply powerful. And like I said, through this time, we need to also be gracious to ourselves of like, this is normal. This is normal. Menopause is not so normal and all this stuff. But transitioning and
Yeah.
what your wardrobe should look like is 100% normal. So embrace it, do the steps that you need to do, and then guess what? It's one less thing you have to think about. Then you can
Yes.
focus on your hormones.
That is
It's
so
all
true.
taken care of.
But when you mention about little girl, I think we have to sort of channel our inner little girl, right?
Mhm.
Because a good girlfriend of mine, her daughter just celebrated her 7th birthday, and she had a picture, and it just happens to be on St. Patty's Day. And she's in like a little tutu. She's like, does it matched? Maybe does, maybe it's you could feel the energy coming from that picture, right? And if you look at yourself going back, you'll see like I love when I see kids in still the Halloween costumes and it's
Yeah.
July,
Yes.
like it's like, but they get their, like they wear whatever they pick out, whether they match or not, but it's how they feel, right? And
Mhm.
that's exactly what you have to be able to do again of how you feel. Pick what a little bit of everything. If it's a blazer, if it's whatever, it's not what you should wear. Or, I take that should out of my vocabulary
Yeah.
because when you say should, you're guilting yourself into doing something. Oh,
Mhm.
I
Right.
should get back into those jeans. Well, you're not going to, girl, but you should, and then you make yourself feel bad. And it's
Yeah,
like, yeah. So you just pick, go into your closet, like you
Mm.
said, and you make it what it is, and you can pick anything out of anywhere and feel confident.
mm,
And that comes out as beauty, in my opinion, too.
Same.
absolutely. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
love it. So, real quick, I just want to tell you here's something really simple and easy. And Raquel, I think
Perfect.
you've heard this before, but here are 3 steps to feeling confident. And
Okay.
they're super easy. They're things you can do every day. Best time to do it is when you first wake up in the morning. But honestly, you could stop at any point in your day and do this. But the first thing when you wake up and you're laying in bed and you're just like, okay, here's my day. What am I going to wear? Oh my God, smile.
Yeah.
Just put a big old smile on your
Smile.
face. Have you tried this, Raquel? Like
I have actually.
you lay there and you smile, like smile,
Yeah,
smile.
and then
Okay.
your cheeks start hurting.
Don't start giggling at yourself of like, okay, this is ridiculous. But all of a sudden you feel lighter. You
Yeah.
feel the weight come off of you and you're like, all right, okay, I'm ready
Okay.
to get out of bed. Let's go.
Okay.
And then you're going to walk to the mirror and you're going to say something nice to yourself. Okay.
Yes.
And you might look in the mirror and be like, oh, girl, what the heck did you
The hardest part about that is looking yourself in the eyeball when you're saying
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
but when you
yes.
do that and you talk to yourself the way you would talk to somebody you love, your daughter, your best
Yes.
friend, your mom, and
Yep.
your partner, anybody, and just say, you know what? You got this today.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what, girl?
Yeah.
It
Yep.
doesn't matter if you're 30 pounds up, your voice is going to be more
Yeah.
powerful than your looks
Yeah.
today. You
Mhm.
say something nice to yourself every single day. Guess what? You've woken up, you put a smile on your face, you had a little giggle with yourself. Now you've said something nice to yourself. Now you're like, all right, it's coffee time. You're feeling better, right? You
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
your voice going in. And then 3, and this is the hardest one for women, don't wear anything you don't like.
That is
It
really
Girl, we
seems
hard.
think
easy,
about
right?
it,
It
It
sounds easy,
says
right?
but we tend to go in and just surrender and put on the same freaking thing that
Yep.
We always put on and we know it looks bad and we know we don't feel confident in it and we do it anyway. That's why it's important to get it out because when it's gone, guess what? You can't.
Yeah,
Can't wear it anymore.
And then you
I
realize
agree.
how
Yeah.
often you did that. But those 3 things, those are the 3 steps to confidence. And I'm telling you, if you can turn those into a true practice, it is amazing how that will just change everything for you.
Yeah.
And just set yourself up. Just set yourself up to have a
Yeah.
better.
Well,
I
the last lecture you did, you talked about layers. And so now I have 100% been looking at layers and how to do that with just the things I do have in my closet. So I love the tips and tricks because
yes.
they are so helpful. Change my mindset going forward.
I
I
love that.
think so. I think every woman too will benefit by this. I think it is
Mhm.
totally inspiring. I can't even believe it at like an hour almost has gone by because it has just been truly amazing. And by that I mean we may have to have you on again and we'll just have some
Woo!
other
Yes,
tips,
we would love that.
Let us
because
know.
I would love that. And I believe that once women listen to this, they will, because these are the easiest things. 3 things. I mean, you're not telling me to eat my body weight in protein and
Oh,
fiber, right?
I
If
hate
I hear
protein.
I
Oh
know. If
my
one more person, right?
Or
But it's like
soluble fiber. Come
and
on.
the difference between yeah, you're not how easy. It's just basically just be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
Be gracious and love the fact that A, you woke up on this side of the daisies, and
Correct.
smile and be happy.
And
And where
you're the one person you're stuck with forever, like it or not.
yes.
So you better be real nice to her. She
Yes.
better be the person you
Yes.
are the nicest to because you're better
Yes.
at everything in life when you're nice to her.
I oh my God, Isha, I absolutely love that. I can't thank you enough.
Thank
I
you.
know our listeners will love it. And I just wanted to have you give out your a confident style method shout out again, because I think that is something that any woman could truly benefit by.
And I have
And how
lots.
do you find it? How do you
Yeah,
find it?
if you just go to ishacasagrande.com, everything is there and you'll see there's lots of different things because there is shopping there, there is blogs on
Okay.
there, there's lots of resources. Even following on social media, Isha Casagrande, that's just the tag for everything because
Okay.
no one else has that name.
That's
So
right.
but just taking a look around because there are some other things that you can do if you're not ready to jump into that big of a
Hmm.
program. But I'm just really here for women. My passion is just, boy, when you see a woman who feels good about herself, it does not matter what she's wearing.
Yeah.
It
Mm-mm.
So
doesn't
true.
matter what size
Mm-mm.
she is.
No.
So
None
true.
of that
You
matters.
just see the light. You just
Yep.
see the light.
Light,
Yep.
and guess what? Everybody starts lighting up around her. That's what I want to be
Yes.
in this world.
Me
Well,
too.
that is
Same.
amazing. Yes, that is
Mm-hmm.
amazing, girls. I will put this down in the show notes so that everybody can check it out. And I know I will be checking it out. I
Same.
am, and I will be checking out my closet
Yeah.
without
Do
you
it.
at this
Yeah.
point because I have to get rid of a couple of things.
Right. We'd like to give a
But
shout out to our sponsors.
yes, go ahead.
We're going to talk to Good Day Chocolate. If you are looking for some calm or focus, those are always a really great aptogen type candy, which we all love chocolate, right? Especially going through menopause.
I do. Yeah.
Pantry Products, which is local to Reno, Nevada. They are actually one of our favorite, not like crazy chemical type of like face creams, things like that. And then we have Isogenics, we have Harmonia, which is a really great kind of like I'm probably not going to do it any service, so I'm not going to talk about what it actually is, but check out Isogenics because they are great.
Yeah. And we also have Parlor Games, which helps with
Yes.
everything in
Down there.
down there. Helps
Mhm.
with the I'm not going to say the word, but it
Yeah.
will help with everything. And they're just a great company, a women owned company that is for women to help
Yeah.
us feel the best that we can be also. So,
Yes.
yes. So, thank you again and I look forward to our next one.
Thank you
And
guys for all you do too. Thank
Oh,
you.
and
thank
thank
you.
you. And like we always like to say at the end, Raquel, we will
We'll
see
see
you
you next
next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.